Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Ohio State Parks and Watercraft Virtual Open House. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Brian Miller. I'm the Southwest District Manager for Ohio State Parks and Watercraft, and I provide oversight to 14 state parks in Southwest Ohio. Also joining me today to assist with this presentation in the questions and answer section is Catherine Connor, who's a naturalist with us in the Southwest. Also behind the scenes today, we have Sean Connor, who is producing today's presentation, and I want to thank both of them. With that, if you have any questions for us during today's events, please post them in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll do our best to answer those at the end of today's presentations. These virtual open houses are a statewide effort for us to stay in communication with all of you during these crazy times that we're all experiencing. In the Southwest, we offer many state parks with many different amenities, but today we're going to showcase Rocky Fork near Hillsboro, Ohio, Paint Creek near Bainbridge, and Adams Lake near West Union, Ohio. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Assistant Park Manager of these three parks, who's been with the division for approximately 29 years, Matt Lewis.
Hi, my name is Matt Lewis, and I'm the Assistant Park Manager here at Rocky Fork, Paint Creek, and Adams Lake State Parks. I've been with the division for 29 years. I've lived in this area all my life, spent a lot of time hunting, fishing, trapping, and camping. I went to school, specialized in park services. I enjoy all things outdoors, so working for the state park system was a natural fit for me. Let me start by telling you about our amazing staff. Our staff go above and beyond to help provide excellent customer service. The parks couldn't operate on a daily basis without the efforts put in by our workers. We have a very diverse staff who handle everything from law enforcement, maintenance, to finances, resale, and administration. I would like to thank all them for their hard work and dedication. Let me take this time to tell you a little bit about Rocky Fork State Park. Rocky Fork State Park is an unlimited horsepower man-made lake with 2,080 acres of water and 1,384 acres of land. Rocky Fork Lake is in Highland County near Hillsboro, Ohio. The park is off US 50 and is roughly an hour from Cincinnati, Dayton, and the Columbus areas. At the turn of the century, Colonel Walter H. Hutchins, a regular visitor to the area from Cincinnati, first dreamed of creating a lake near McCoppin's Mill. The Division of Conservation acquired the land in the 1940s and began construction on the dam in 1949. Rocky Fork became a state park in 1950, and the first water spilled over the dam in April of 1953. Since that summer, the lake has become a favorite of fishermen and water sports enthusiasts. The 31 miles of shoreline has at least a 300-foot boundary, state-owned land around its perimeter. This land was kept so that the public could enjoy a multitude of recreational activities, including hiking, hunting, and fishing. Visitors to Rocky Fork might enjoy some of the nearby attractions, rich in Southern Ohio history. These attractions include Serpent Mound, Fort Hill, and the Adena State Park Memorial. Here is an overview of the lake. The blue stars represent our 6 launch ramps, and the yellow stars represent our amenities. Going from left to right, the first large yellow star is our campground, with the blue star next to it representing our campground launch ramp. The next blue star is our Fisherman's Wharf Marina and launch ramp area. This marina has public docking opportunities, a flush restroom, and great shoreline fishing. Our next blue star is our South Beach launch ramp, and the yellow star next to it represents our swimming beach and shelter house. Also located in this area is our 9-basket disc golf course and plenty of shoreline for fishing. Moving north, the first yellow star represents our main swimming beach. This area has a newly renovated beach house, large parking area, and newly constructed playground. Just above that, the yellow star represents our marina. Our marina offers fuel and snacks to the boaters. This area also has public docking rentable from April 1st to October 31st. Just down the road from that is our launch ramp, our North Shore launch ramp. This area is being actively dredged, so please use caution when using this area. Moving east, the next yellow star represents the East End Overlook. This area has a gated docking area available from April 1st to October 31st. Nearby that is our Sycamore Grove Shelter House. Just south of this area, the next blue star represents our East Shore Marina launch ramp. This is a very popular ramp for fishing tournaments, and this launch ramp can also accommodate larger watercraft. Just below that, the large yellow star represents our dam. This is a good place to take in the views of the Dolomite Limestone Valley. Moving north, our last blue star represents East Shore Marina Public Launch. This area is popular with families as they enjoy picnicking, biking, walking, and fishing. Rocky Fork State Park provides many different camping opportunities. Our campground offers 172 sites suitable for trailers, motorhomes, and tents. 100 sites have electric hookups, 50, 30, and 20 amp. An additional 45 sites offer full service hookup. The campground is equipped with showers, flush toilets, laundry facilities, a dump station, and camp store. There are currently 27 non-electric sites with plans this year to upgrade 14 of those to electric. 20 of our sites offer lakefront views and are open year-round. We have a group camp available in our upper area, 2 playgrounds, a 9-hole putt-putt golf, small disc golf course, and an area to play basketball. A rentable shelter house is located near our camp store with lake views. Let me tell you a few things about our campground has to offer. Our campground has a variety of events throughout the camping season. June 11th and 12th, we have a campers spring yard sale. Campers may set out items at their sites to sell. June 19th is Father's Day weekend. Kids can make a craft for their father. July 2nd through the 4th, of course, is our 4th of July weekend with a children's bike parade and family fun time and crafts. September 3rd through the 6th is our Labor Day weekend camp. We have another children's bike parade and some family fun time with children and crafts. October 15th and 16th is probably our biggest camp out, which is our Halloween camp out, when we will have pumpkin carving, a scavenger hunt, and campsite decorating contest. I would like to take this time and opportunity to thank all the volunteers in parks for all their hard work. The work they do is valuable, and there's no way we could do it without them. If you'd like to reserve a campsite or shelter house, you can call 866-644-6727 or visit the website at reserveohio.com. Next, we have the Dovetail Group Activity Center. Camp Dovetail is a week-long camp for children with disabilities housed at Rocky Fork State Park. Camp Dovetail, in partnership with SAF, which that's Supplemental Assistance to the Handicapped, provides a unique camping opportunity for children with disabilities. Camp Dovetail started as a day camp with 25 kids and has grown into a day and overnight camp with over 325 campers and well over 700 visitors. Camp Dovetail is a week-long event each year. Camp Dovetail is getting ready to begin its 39th year for the camp and has been housed on Rocky Fork State property for the last 36 years. Camp Dovetail has provided hundreds of children with a lifetime of memories. We at Rocky Fork State Park are proud to be associated with this group of volunteers who give so much of their time for the kids around Southern Ohio. In the upper left, you can see our Sycamore Grove Shelter House located near East Shore Marina, near the East End Overlook. Below that is our small shelter house at South Beach. This shelter house is available on a first-come, first-served basis, free of charge. We have another shelter house located behind our camp store, the Buckeye Pavilion. Both the Sycamore Grove and Buckeye Pavilion are reservable. If you're in the mood for picnicking, our park offers picnic areas in almost all locations of the park. These areas are open to the public and are free of charge. The East End Overlook is our reservable banquet hall, which can hold approximately 100 people. This facility is very popular for weddings, graduations, birthdays, and other memorable occasions. The East End Overlook boasts a gorgeous view of the lake and has 5 dock slips underneath. Guests can enjoy time inside or outside on the waterfront deck. To reserve or get more information on this facility, please call the park office at 937-393-4284. This is the Rocky Fork Activity Center. This is located at North Shore Marina. This facility is popular with smaller gatherings and can house approximately 50 people. This location offers a more secluded wooded area and has plenty of parking. The Activity Center has a small kitchen and outside grills and holds approximately 50 people. To reserve or get more information on this facility, please call our park office at 937-393-4284.
Thank you so much, Matt, for that quick look at our Rocky Fork State Park. Now, whether you're staying here overnight or just for the day, there are tons of different recreational opportunities for you to take advantage of. For that, let's go to our Natural Resources Officer, Thigpen.
Good morning. My name is D'Angelo Thigpen. I'm a Natural Resource Officer with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. I'm stationed at Rocky Fork. I've been with the division for just over a year. A little background is I studied criminology and sociology at The Ohio State University, and I was lucky enough to pair my passion with the outdoors and law enforcement in this natural resource officer role. In this role, our job essentially is to protect the public in our state parks and ensure that they're abiding by the rules and regulations while recreating. We also provide services like hen inspections and vessel safety checks, and as well as enforce the rules and regulations on the waterways. So you may see us out on a boat. You may see us in our cruisers or on an ATV or UTV around the park. So if you do, feel free to stop and say hey. In regards to the recreational opportunities at Rocky Fork, we'll start with our trail system. We have 2 trails, the Deer Observation or the Deer Loop Trail, which is 1 mile. That's going to be located near our maintenance shop off North Shore Drive. And then the Bird Observation Trail, which is also on North Shore Drive. That's going to be located directly across from the campground. The disc golf course is located at South Beach. It is an 18-hole golf course. Rocky Fork also offers a 7-hole practice course at the campground. There is rental equipment there, and it's available at the camp store. The courses are free to play. Next, we'll kind of talk about hunting and trapping. Rocky Fork offers good opportunities for hunting. There's going to be deer, small game. As you can see, there's designated areas on the map. You can get those maps at the camp office or online. The trapping opportunities are primarily going to be muskrat, but you do have beaver opportunities around the lake as well. Next, we'll kind of touch on swimming. There are going to be 2 beaches located at Rocky Fork. The larger beach is going to be on North Beach. There's going to be a playground as well as a public bathroom, and there's somewhat of a shelter house there. The smaller beach is going to be located on the southern part of the lake, and it's a more intimate setting. It's good for younger kids where you can closely observe them, and there's also a shelter house there. Pets are not permitted on any of our beaches. Next, we'll kind of touch on boating. Rocky Fork offers 2,080 acres of water with no limit on horsepower. There are 6 ramps located around the lake, and fueling can be found on the North Beach Marina. There are also designated boat camping and swimming areas on the eastern side of the lake. The park also offers approximately 800 docks for rent, and you can contact the park office to kind of set that up. While on Rocky Fork, you're going to see a lot of leisure boats. You're going to have people out tubing. You'll see a lot of bass fishermen, as well as people on hand vessels like kayaks and canoes. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys out here.
Thank you, Officer Thigpen. That was a great look at our recreational opportunities, but we didn't mention fishing, and that is such a popular one here at Rocky Fork. For that, we have our fisheries biologist, Justin Walters.
Hello, my name is Justin Walters. I'm a fish biologist with the Ohio Division of Wildlife, working here in Southwest Ohio. The Ohio Division of Wildlife samples game fish on public waters across the state. We use this data to inform stocking decisions and make fishing regulations. We start in the spring by sampling black bass using an electrofishing boat when the fish are near the shore preparing to spawn. Surveys at Rocky Fork show a great population of largemouth bass. Fish over 5 pounds are found to each survey. Crappie and bluegill are sampled in the fall with trap nets while they're gathering close to the bank. This type of net is basically a giant minnow trap with a lead attached to the bank. The crappie population of Rocky Fork is made up of both black and white crappie. The crappie population is managed with a 9-inch length limit and a 30-fish bag. Crappie growth and catch rates are both good and are above the average for the district. The bluegill size and numbers are also well above the average for the district at Rocky Fork. We sample catfish in 2 different ways. Channel catfish populations are sampled using baited hoop nets in the summer, and blue and flathead catfish are sampled with low pulse electrofishing during the summer as well. The catfish population of Rocky is dominated with channel catfish, and the population has an excellent size structure. Some of the largest channel cats we see in Southwest Ohio are found at Rocky Fork. They're well above the average for the district. The flathead population is considered good for a lake, and with several fish over 30 pounds found each survey. Saugeye are sampled in the late fall using monofilament gill nets. Saugeye recruitment and catch rates are great at Rocky Fork. They are both above the district average. Rocky Fork has a 15-inch 6-fish bag limit. The length limit is intended to protect the saugeye from harvest until age 2 to increase the size of the fish caught by anglers. Our reservoirs in Ohio are aging, and the quality of fishing habitat is gradually declining. We try to help by making fish attractor reefs in the winter months. We typically use Christmas trees. These reefs offer a little help to the fish as well as the fishermen. We conduct these projects on most reservoirs in a 3 to 5 year rotation. In the past 2 years, we have created several Christmas tree reefs around the lake. Another unique feature at Rocky Fork is the lighted handicap fishing pier. During 2019, the National Wild Turkey Federation, Whitetails Unlimited, South Central Ohio Chapter, the Division of Wildlife, and the Division of Parks and Watercraft came together to purchase and install a floating handicap fishing pier and install a green underwater light that comes on at night and draws in all types of fish. Anglers have reported nighttime catches of crappie and saugeye after it was installed. We also made several Christmas tree reefs around the pier. This handicap pier can be accessed from Lucas Lane near the East Shore Marina boat launch. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. And whether you are fishing, out hiking, biking, there is something that is definitely going to stop you. That is going to be these beautiful rock formations that we have in this area. That is one of the most popular things we get photos of on our Facebook. and fish. To talk a little bit about this geological significance, we have our geologist, Brittany.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Brittany Perrick. I'm a geologist with the department, but in the Division of Geological Survey. I've been with the survey for almost 7 years now, and I went to Ohio University, so sorry all of you OSU guys. Kind of the mission of the survey, we just provide geologic information and services just to manage Ohio's resources responsibly, and that involves a lot of data collection, field work, talking to people. It's very good to get out and meet Ohioans. But to kind of ground us in the Rocky Fork area, I'm going to show you a bedrock map of Ohio, and this is a simplified version of it. And there's just different ages. There's 5 different ages in Ohio, but we're going to be focusing on the Silurian. That is what the bedrock is in this area of Rocky Fork. And the Silurian occurred 433 to 416 million years ago, a long time. And at that time, Ohio was a warm, shallow sea, kind of like the Bahamas, a really great place to live if you were one of the creatures in the picture on the right. Because this
With this shallow ocean, a lot of different creatures were living in this area, and we're thinking shallow ocean, so you're thinking crustaceans, things like brachiopods, horn corals, and things of that nature. And those can still be seen in our rock today. So when you are traveling, you might get a glimpse of some of these organisms that were here millions of years ago. The rock in the, I think we have Brittany back.
it's not working. Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. My internet's been a little futzy lately. But I did hear Catherine talking about, the different creatures. So yeah, because of all of the sea life that turns this, these bedrock units into really fossiliferous units, depending on what you're looking at. So kind of in this area, there's 2, unit groups. We have the Estill Shale, but you won't be able to see that because it's underneath the lake. And then here, the best place to see the geology in the park is the spillway by the old mill. So that's going to be the Tamokte Greenfield and Peoples Lily Bisher Undivided. Those are all units of limestones and dolomites, which are carbonate rocks. And I'll talk a little bit more about what's cool about the carbonates in a second. But a little bit nearer in time is the different glaciations in Ohio. So where Rocky Fork is situated is actually in a prime glacial activity area. So here's the glacial map of Ohio, another simplified versions. We have strong evidence of 2 glaciations, and then anything older than 300,000 years, we have a little evidence for, but there were likely more than just the 2. So we have the Wisconsin, which was 14,000 to 24,000 years ago, and then the Illinoisan, which was 130,000 to 300,000 years ago. In the Rocky Fork area, it's wedged in between these 2 glacial boundaries. So you can see the solid line up top, that is the Wisconsin boundary, and then the dashed line in the bottom right corner is the Illinoisan. So what that means is that the Wisconsin glaciers didn't quite make it to the park. They stopped a little bit northwest of where the park is now, but the Illinoisan glaciers actually went over and moved and stopped beyond the park, and that actually had a very big effect on kind of the morphology of the region. Because of this, when the glaciers in the Illinoisan were retreating, they the dammed ice and all of the material left behind created this proglacial lake, kind of in the same valley that Rocky Fork is in right now. And because of this retreating glacier and all of these different materials, there was an esker that was kind of towards the east of Rocky Fork. And then this esker is just composed of different glacial materials, rocks, cobbles, different things. And it was strong enough to kind of affect when that glacial lake wanted to drain. So you have the esker there, and it runs right along 753. You can kind of see it in the relief on the right-hand picture. So if you're on a sudden little hill there, it's probably the esker. But when the lake, rose high enough and wanted to spill over its confinements, the esker was in the way, so it could not do that, and it had to, reroute its, movement south and around the esker. And in doing so, it came into contact with the dolomites and the limestones, and it started forming Rocky Fork Gorge. So without that esker, it might have looked a little bit differently than everything else. And then a unique feature of this area is because of the carbonates, that means there's a bunch of different karst features. And karst is anything to do with caves, springs, sinkholes, disappearing streams, stuff like that. And that's one of my main focuses at work. So in this area, we've actually mapped sinkholes and springs around Rocky Fork. And you can see there's a bunch of different points. The blue are springs. And the red are confirmed sinkholes, the yellow and the orange are what we suspect might be sinkholes. There is one, like when you're going towards the East Marina, it doesn't look like too much, it's kind of just a shallow dip, but it is there. And then you can also look more about that on our interactive map online. So that was pretty neat to see. And then the neat thing is that because the glaciations came down and affected this region, some of the sinkholes were filled in. Because we do believe that these sinkholes and these fractures were formed prior to the glaciations, probably sometime in the Silurian or the Devonian. So now that we're no longer in a period of deposition, these sinkholes are tending to open up. So there's the erosion coming through, and you might see a few more popping up. They're not scary like Florida, so don't worry. And if you want to learn more about that, or just the bedrock and different glacial history of the area and of the state, we have a Facebook page that we do all kinds of postings on, and this year is the International Year of Caves and Karsts, so we're focusing a lot on karst stuff, which I love. We have a YouTube playlist on the DNR channel that has a bunch of different, webinars that we've done, educational videos, and then of course our website has all kinds of free information for teachers and just people that are interested in geology, and then all kinds of interactive maps where you can play around and put in your coordinates and see what you're in. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brittany. And I'd like to keep on this geological significance because we have another state park that has this same type of rock formations found in it. And that's going to be Paint Creek State Park. Let's bring back our assistant manager, Matt, to tell us a little bit more about this park.
Yeah. Paint Creek State Park is located near Bainbridge, Ohio, off US 50. And is in both Highland and Ross counties. Paint Creek State Park is a flood control reservoir constructed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers owns approximately 10,000 acres. The U.S. Army Corps manages around 400 of that and leases out over 9,000 acres to Parks and Watercraft and the Division of Wildlife. The reservoir itself is 1,148 acres at Pool. Construction on the project was started in 1967 and was completed and opened in 1972. Visitors at the park may enjoy breathtaking scenery of Paint Creek Valley. The Paint Creek State Park features a large, unlimited horsepower lake with fishing, boating, and swimming opportunities. The park's 5,652 acres offers a place for outdoor enthusiasts to explore and enjoy. Let's take a look at an overview of Paint Creek State Park. The 3 blue stars represents our launch ramps, while the yellow stars represents our amenities. Starting from left to right, the first blue star is our rattlesnake boat ramp. This launch ramp is maintained by the Division of Wildlife and is located at the mouth of Rattlesnake Creek. The next blue star is the campground launch ramp, and this launch ramp is located at the mouth of Paint Creek. The large yellow star represents our campground. Below the campground, you will find our horse camp. Our horse camp has 10 primitive sites with water for the animals and a newly constructed restroom for the campers. Moving to the bottom of the map, the lowest yellow star marks our archery range. This was built in cooperation between Ohio State Parks and Watercraft, the Division of Wildlife, and the Highland County Rod and Gun Club. This archery range has targets from 10 yards to 50 yards. The star just above the archery range is our swimming beach and is approximately 1,000 feet long. Our swimming beach is open to the public. To the right of our beach, you will find our marina. Our marina has public rentable dock spaces, which can be rented from May 1st to October 15th. The blue star next to the marina is our launch ramp. This has a large parking area and is popular with fishing tournaments. The final yellow star is the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers office. This is where the dam and spillway are located. Paint Creek State Park provides many different camping opportunities. Our campground offers 199 sites suitable for trailers, motorhomes, and tents alike. 170 sites have electric hookups, 50, 30, and 20 amp. An additional 10 sites offer full service hookups. There are also 15 deck sites. 10 sites offer 2 sites are ADA compliant. 2 camper cabins are also available for rent. The campground is equipped with showers, flush toilets, laundry facilities, a dump station, and camp store. Other campground offerings include ADA compliant mini golf, 2 playgrounds, 2 basketball areas, volleyball, and a 21 basket disc golf course. Paint Creek State Park offers 2 getaway rentals. These rentals are equipped with heat and air conditioning, an outdoor grill, picnic table. Getaway rentals can accommodate up to 6 people. To reserve or get more information on these, please call Paint Creek State Park Camp Store at 937-981-7061. Let me tell you a few other things about our campground. In the upper left-hand corner, you will see a picture of our camp store. Campers can pick up last-minute items and enjoy some hand-dipped ice cream on the outside deck. On the right, you will see one of our playgrounds that I mentioned earlier. Paint Creek Campground caters to families and provides a variety of events and activities through the camping season. In May, we do a family birdhouse building and a VIP breakfast. In June, we do the campers yard sale, similar to Rocky Forks, where campers can bring in items to sell. And we also do family birdhouse building that month. July, we have a VIP breakfast and a bike decorating contest. In August, we offer another family birdhouse building. September, we do another VIP breakfast. And October 8th and 9th is the popular Halloween campgrounds. You better get your spots fast for that one because it fills up quick. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our volunteers in parks for all their hard work that they do during our special events. There's no way we could do our special events without them. On the left, you'll see a picture of our Friendship Pavilion. This is also the location of the VIP breakfasts. You don't want to miss out on this homemade breakfast. If you're in the mood for picnicking, our park offers picnic areas in most all areas of the park. These areas are free of charge and open to the public.
Thank you, Matt. It is such a beautiful state park, and like Rocky Fork, there's so much to explore recreation-wise. Let's bring back our Officer Thigpen to talk a little bit about Paint Creek's recreations.
Paint Creek offers a multitude of recreational opportunities. We'll kind of start with the trail system. Paint Creek offers 3 trails. The East Loop Trail, which is going to be 9.3 miles. It offers 2 bridle trails. The South Loop Bridle Trail is 11.5 miles, and then the North Loop Bridle Trail is going to be 6.1 miles. While on these trails, you may come across just normal hikers. You are allowed to take your dogs on these trails, but they must be leashed. Paint Creek also has a disc golf course. It offers a 21-hole golf course that is free to the public. It's going to be located off Taylor Road near the camp store. There's designated parking for that. We'll kind of move on to hunting at Paint Creek. Paint Creek offers excellent deer hunting opportunities in the designated areas around the lake. It also offers excellent small game hunting, including squirrel and rabbit. Paint Creek does offer some waterfowl opportunities, but primarily they're going to be diver ducks and not puddle ducks. Paint Creek does offer one large sand beach to swimmers and sunbathers on the west end of the lake. Again, pets aren't permitted in these swimming beach areas. There is going to be public bathrooms at that beach. And then boating. Paint Creek offers 1,148 acres of boating recreation with no limit on horsepower. There are three launch ramps located around the lake. That's going to be Rattlesnake, Taylor Road, and then your Deer Park Marina. Fuel and dock rentals are offered seasonally. While you're out recreating on Paint Creek, you're most likely going to see fishing boats and other small hand-powered vessels like canoes and kayaks. Again, thank you for watching, and hope to see you guys out there.
Thank you, Officer Thigpen. Let's cover our recreation of fishing here at Paint Creek State Park, and let's bring our fisheries biologist, Justin, back on.
Hello. Surveys at Paint Creek show a good population of largemouth bass. The bass fishery is managed under our experimental 2+2 15-inch regulation. This allows anglers to remove a few smaller fish, and this helps to stop stockpiling below the length limit and also improve growth rates. The crappie population of Paint Creek is made up of both white and black crappie, with blacks being the predominant species. The crappie population is managed with a 9-inch length limit and 30-fish bag. Crappie catch rates and growth rates are both above the average for the district. The bluegill size and numbers are average for the district. The catfish population of Paint Creek is dominated with channel catfish, and the population has an excellent size structure. It's about average for the district. The flathead population is considered great for a lake, with several fish over 28 pounds found each survey. Saugeye growth rates are good at Paint Creek. However, saugeye typically don't stay in the lake past age 1. They typically leave the lake through the dam. The design and operation of the spillway does create one of the best tailwater fisheries in Southwest Ohio, and that's worth noting. In the winter of 2020, we partnered with Ross County bass anglers to build and place over 100 spider blocks in Paint Creek. The materials were bought by DuPont. The blocks were built by the club, and the Division of Wildlife sank them in the lower end of Paint Creek in 3 different locations. By using spider blocks, we should be able to avoid them from washing away during the flooding that we see at Paint Creek annually. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. And we are very fortunate to have a partnership with the Army Corps of Engineers to help keep Paint Creek so wonderful for our visitors. To talk a little bit about the history and managing this lake is our natural resources specialist, Isaac.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Catherine. Like Catherine said, my name is Isaac Green. I am the natural resource specialist at Paint Creek with the Army Corps of Engineers. I've been there for about 2 years now. A little bit about myself. I graduated from OSU with a degree in forestry, fisheries, and wildlife. And that led me into my current career as a ranger. So let's get into a little bit of the history about Paint Creek and the dam. So construction was authorized on Paint Creek by the Flood Control Act of 1938. Construction then began in 1967 and was finished in 1974. And as you can see from a few of these pictures here, this is the primary reason the dam was built, was to prevent catastrophes such as this. That picture on the left there is Route 50 on the east side of Bainbridge. The picture all the way on the right is Route 50 on the west side of Bainbridge. So Paint Creek was quite the stream when the rains came in the spring. It swelled quite a bit and caused a lot of damage, as you can see. So as I said, the dam was completed in 1974, and we have been improving operations ever since. Moving on, I'm going to speak about the Army Corps of Engineers mission and how they pertain to Paint Creek specifically. So the primary purpose of the project is flood control. To this date, as of fiscal year 19, Paint Creek alone has prevented over $243 million in flood damages. So already it has paid for itself. As was previously stated, it is 1,100 acres at Summer Pool. So it is a relatively small reservoir. However, we drain 575 square miles, which is a very large drainage basin. So if you're ever on Paint Creek and the water's up, just know that it's because we're holding back water to prevent that flooding downstream and prevent those damages. And that happens quite a bit, honestly. We we hold back water a lot in the spring. The lake comes up pretty fast because of that large drainage basin. Another one of our purposes that we were authorized for is low flow augmentation. And that is so that we can maintain acceptable stream levels downstream. That keeps the fisheries and the aquatic invertebrate habitats healthy during the dry months when we're not seeing a lot of rain. So we push out, a little bit of water to keep those habitats healthy. Another authorized project purpose is fish and wildlife habitat. Our partners, OhioDNR, helps with that. As Matt mentioned, most of the project property is leased out to OhioDNR, whether it is the Division of Wildlife or the Division of Parks and Watercraft. Approximately 9,179 acres are leased to OhioDNR to manage for fish and wildlife habitat, as well as public recreation between those two agencies. So another project purpose is recreation. As I stated, most of the recreational management is provided by OhioDNR. Just over 5,000 acres is leased to Division of Wildlife to manage, and then almost 6,000 acres is managed by the Parks and Watercraft. And those agencies do a very good job at managing the recreation at Paint Creek. And down there at the dam, we just manage just about 400 acres. However, it is one of the most used areas at the park. We see a lot of visitation there at the dam, and we have a lot of good recreation opportunities there as well, including fishing. As was mentioned before, the tailwaters is an excellent fishery. It's one of the most popular areas to fish in either Highland or Ross counties. We also have two hiking trails at the dam, Little Pond Trail, which is 1.5 miles, and Harmony Trail, which is just an absolutely gorgeous trail down below the dam, which is only 1/2 mile. We also have a wildlife viewing blind along the Little Pond Trail, as well as 2 picnic shelters that are reservable, and you may reserve those at recreation.gov. One unique feature about the dam pertaining to recreation, we have 2 rock climbing areas, and rock climbing is not something that you can find very often in Ohio, so it's pretty unique. One of the climbing areas is along the Harmony Trail, and as I mentioned previously, it's just absolutely gorgeous down there. Some of the rock wall is just, it's got wildflowers, and it's always shaded. That trail's always shaded, so it's nice to just go down and walk and look at all the views. And finally, the last project purpose that we were authorized for is water supply. We do have an agreement with Highland County Water. However, it is not used currently. The agreement states that they are able to draw water from Paint Creek downstream of us, in which case, if they ever did need to use that, we would, push more water out of the dam to supply that. However, it is not used. So finally, some resources for you if you're looking to learn more or have questions about Paint Creek. You can visit us at our project office at 504 Reservoir Road in Bainbridge. You can also give us a call, 937-365-1470. Or we also have a Facebook page that we try to update if we have events or if we're doing any kind of special releases or holding back water for any reason. So that's all the information I have for today. I hope to see you out at the park this summer, and have a good day, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you, Isaac. We really appreciate the hard work that you folks over at the Army Corps do. The very last lake we want to talk about today is Adams Lake State Park. Let's bring back Matt one more time to tell us about this beautiful state park. Matt, you are muted.
Oh, sorry about that. Adams Lake State Park is located on State Route 41 near West Union, Ohio, in Adams County. Adams Lake is a hidden gem in the bluegrass region of Ohio. Adams Lake was originally constructed to provide drinking water for the village of West Union. The state purchased the lake and its surrounding land in 1950 when an alternate water system was developed and established for Adams County, West Union. Adams Lake is one of the most scenic and biologically interesting areas. The lake has 47 acres of water, 49 acres of land to enjoy. Adams Lake offers a paved walking trail and a playground for the kids. There are many unique picnicking areas and hiking trails on the State Nature Preserve. The lake itself is an electric motor only lake and provides excellent paddling opportunities for kayakers. Adams Lake State Park is not equipped for campers, but nearby Shawnee State Park offers camping, cabins, and lodge for those travelers interested in overnight facilities. Let's take a look at the overview of Adams Lake. Starting on the left with the large yellow star is the Adams Lake State Park Nature Preserve. This area of the park is operated by the Department of Natural Resources, Division of Natural Areas. You will hear more about that later. The yellow star represents, the next yellow star that is, represents the shelter house, which has been recently renovated. Moving to the right, you'll see a small yellow star indicating where the playground and picnic area is located. And finally, the yellow star represents the launch ramp and ADA compliant kayak launch. Adams Lake offers numerous picnic areas with amazing views, as well as a playground area for the kids. On the slide, you also see a picture of the recently renovated shelter house. This shelter house is reservable by calling 866-644-6727, or you can get more information by calling our park office here at Rocky Fork at 937-393-4284.
Thank you, Matt. This is a beautiful day use park we have here in Southwest Ohio, and there are some recreational opportunities that we'd like to highlight here. Let's bring back Officer Thigpen one more time.
Thank you, Catherine. Kind of due to the size of Adams Lake, there aren't as many recreational opportunities, but that doesn't necessarily take away from the quality of recreational opportunities that there are. We'll kind of start with hunting. There are going to be 2 waterfowl blinds that are drawn by lottery on the lake. They provide really good goose hunting opportunities, as well as some diver ducks and puddle ducks. Boating is another recreational opportunity that can be found on Adams Lake. Again, there is going to be that motor limit, so you're going to primarily see kayaks and canoes. It's a very beautiful lake to kayak and paddle around on. I guess we'll kind of touch on some boating stuff while we're on the topic. Your Ohio Boater Education course, you want to make sure you have that when you're out boating this summer. The course is a mandatory boater education course for any person born on or after January 1 of 1982 who operates a powerboat greater than 10 horse. To comply with this requirement, we ask that you complete either a certified classroom course, home study course, or online computer course and proficiency exam. For course listings, contact the DNR or Division of Parks and Watercraft at 877-4BOATER or visit our website at OhioDNR.gov. Boating information is always available at your local state park office, or if you see one of us out driving around, feel free to stop us. We usually have a boater guide in our vehicle, and we'll be more than happy to give you that. That's going to have all the information that you need to know to boat safely this year. As far as your boat itself, you want to make sure your hull identification numbers are inspected. You want to make sure those numbers are clear and visible to us in the park. If you don't know what your hull identification number is, it's essentially your boat serial number. It's going to be a 12-digit number. And if your boat doesn't have one, say you bought a kayak or a canoe or even a fishing boat from out of state, you can always bring that in and we can perform an inspection and assign you one. You're going to call your local state park office to see if they actually do them. Not all offices do those, but you can schedule that by appointment and we'll do that at the park. Last thing is you're going to want to make sure your registration is up to date. I had an incident this week where I stopped a guy who had a sticker that was good for this year, but he was expired per the date on the sticker. So you just want to make sure that your registration is up to date before you get out and get on the water. And that way you don't have any negative experiences with law enforcement by getting stopped. Last thing I would say is wear your PFD, your personal flotation device, while you're out in the water this year. We want to make sure people are out recreating safely. Don't drink and boat. They don't mix. And if you have any questions, feel free to stop by and see us. We can be located at 9800 North Shore Drive here in Hillsboro, Ohio. If you just want to give us a call, the park office is going to be 937-393-4284. And again, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys out here soon. If you do see me, feel free to stop me. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate you taking some time today to talk to our viewers about some safe recreation and fun recreating at these state parks. Let's talk about our fishing opportunities here at Adams Lake. Let's bring back Justin one last time.
Hello. Adams Lake fish community is made up of your typical small lake fish species like bass, bluegill, and catfish. The lake is known for its great channel catfish population. It is also the first lake in Ohio to be stocked with catchable rainbow trout each spring. So now we'll talk about some of the resources for you. A lot of the information that I presented today can be found on our new website. By going to the new fishing reports and forecast page, anglers can now see our stocking numbers for each lake and some of our species-specific sampling results from our surveys. We are currently expanding this website for other lakes in the near future. Another great resource that was developed during 2020 was our new Hunt Fish OH mobile app. The fishing side of this app allows you to buy a license for you or anyone in your fishing group. The map feature will also help you find the fish attractors while you're out on the lake that I've talked about earlier. The app also has many other features like the current fishing regulations built right in. And the actual fish attractor locations can also be found on your computer on the Ohio Lake Map resource page, along with other popular high success shore fishing spots like the handicap fishing piers I talked about today and youth fishing ponds all across Southwest Ohio. This page also shows the many resources available to users like boat ramps, restrooms, and marina locations all across the state. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, Justin. We really appreciate you taking some time today to tell us a little bit about our state parks here. We appreciate that partnership with the Division of Wildlife. And there is another division that we partner with specifically here at Adams Lake, and that is going to be the Department of Natural Areas and Preserves. For our preserve manager, Casey, we are going to have her talk about the beautiful preserve here at Adams Lake.
Hello, everybody, and today we are going to be talking about Adams Lake Prairie State Nature Preserve located within the park. A little bit about myself. I graduated from Northern Kentucky University with a degree in evolution, ecology, and organisms. I work in the Southern District of the Division of Natural Areas and Preserves as a natural resources technician for about 3 years now, and we aim to protect our land and native species for future generations. The significance of Adams Lake Prairie. In 1971, University of Cincinnati professor Richard H. Durrell, an original member of the Ohio Natural Areas Council, along with his fellow council members, encouraged ODNR to buy a small xeric prairie across from the Adams Lake State Park. Dr. Durrell was introduced to this prairie remnant by his good friend and UC colleague, Dr. E. Lucy Braun. And on January 31st, 1972, 25 acres was purchased for a little over $4,000, with funds given by the General Ohio Assembly, specifically to purchase natural areas just prior to the Natural Areas Act of 1970 being passed into law. This globally rare, sparsely vegetated dry prairie is located on highly eroded slope of Estill shale and surrounded by second growth oak and hickories. There are 2 short hiking trails at Adams Lake Prairie, spanning about 0.6 miles of land. The Prairie Dock Trail leads through the prairie, and in there you can see large populations of prairie dock, several species of blazing stars, eastern shooting star, spider milkweed, rattlesnake master, and one of my favorites, downy skullcap. Along the prairie, you can see Allegheny mound ant colonies and the uncommon Edwards hairstreak butterfly. These 2 species have an interesting relationship. The Edwards hairstreak larvae produce a honey-like substance relished by the ants so much that they will act as bodyguards to protect the larvae from the predators. The Edwards hairstreak is susceptible to attack from a small parasitic insect, but with the ants on guard, the larvae can survive and eventually become butterflies. You can also see some orchids present within the prairie, such as purple twayblade and multiple species of lady tresses. The Post Oak Trail has many oaks, such as post oak, blackjack oak, shingle oaks, and some hickories. Over the years, the oak and hickory process has been slightly disturbed by the domination of sugar maples. Ecologists can theorize the cause for this being that oak forests require occasional forest fires to promote regeneration. When managing the property, we strive to keep the prairie open, which can be obtained through doing prescribed burns every 2 to 3 years, which we just had one on Tuesday, which removes plant competition and puts nutrients back into the soil. Prairie plants can survive fire, floods, and poor nutrient soils, mainly because of their large root systems, which can reach about 23 feet. Our most dominant invasive species would be the yellow and white sweet clovers that can be removed through hand pulling, and bush honeysuckle, which can be treated or pulled if small enough. Sweet clover can be very hard to pull with deep taproot and a seed bank that can last up to 6 years. There will be a never-ending battle trying to keep the prairie pristine, and no pets are permitted on the preserve. Thank you guys, and hope to see you at the prairie.
Thank you so much, Casey. We really appreciate the hard work you guys do, and exciting to hear about the prescribed burn that went on. We would like to take these last quick few seconds. Thank you for sticking with us, everybody, to answer a few questions that our visitors have asked. So the very first one is going to be for our geologist, Brittany. Where can we find those glacial maps that you showed us? And the fossils you spoke of, are those for folks to collect? Or if not, are there any areas in Ohio where you can fossil collect?
Great, yeah, great question. So on our website, we have, right when you go, you can just go to ohiogeology.com. It'll route you right there. And I'm going to share my screen, so it'll do that. Hold on just a second. I'll post the link in the chat also. All right, so when you get to this is the front page of our website, and you just click on this very first link here. It's the Ohio Geology Interactive Map. I've actually already got it loaded over here. And so this is what pops up. So right now in the Legends layers, right, left-hand side, you can select different layers that you want to look at. So this is the Bedrock Geology, and then if you turn on this official, it'll load all of the different things, and you can zoom in and you click on things, it'll have information, all that good stuff. Also in our publications area, we have that little 8.5 by 11 available for download and print, and it has a bunch more information on it. And then if you want huge wall-sized versions, you're going to have to contact our Geologic Records Center about that. They're really great maps. They're pretty huge and awesome. And then as far as fossil collecting, within Rocky Fork and in Paint Creek, there's no collecting allowed. And in some of the units, it's going to be hard to find them. I know that Lily and the People's Lily Busher particularly are very fossiliferous. The lily has a bunch of crinoid stems, which look like little beads. Honestly, they're kind of just like weird little beads in a row. And the kind of the biggest thing that you might see are stromatoporoids, and those kind of look like rounded kind of spherical things with different layers. Sometimes you might mistake it as just like a weird texture in the rock, but those things can also be seen. And as far as places you can actually fossil collect in Ohio, we have a page on our Facebook page and then also on our website, which lists the 5 different localities that we have. Oh, sorry, 6. We have 6 now. So here's a map of each one with the numbers, and then it'll go into detail on each place you can collect, some advice on what to bring, and then a label for if you want to, label what you find. And then we also have a rock ID page. If you find a fossil and you want us to identify it, you can send in a picture, let us know where you found it, and we'll get back to you with what we think it is.
Thank you so much, Brittany. That was so helpful, and that new website is a dream. Well, very last question I think our assistant manager Matt can help with, and it just talked about Paint Creek State Park specifically. Are all campsites pet friendly? Are the getaways pet friendly? Can you elaborate just a little bit on that?
Sure. So Paint Creek State Park is pet friendly. The getaway rentals, however, you can't have pets inside. So, and you can always get more information by calling our camp store over there anytime at area code 937-981-7061. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you, everybody, for presenting and really helping us showcase these beautiful parks we have here in Southwest Ohio. Let's bring back our district manager to close us out today.
Thanks, Catherine. And I want to thank all of our great presenters today, Brittany and Casey and Isaac and Justin. What great partners they are for us here at the Division of Parks and Watercraft. What a lot of information in such a short time. I hope you found today to be very educational and has sparked your interest to visit one of these 3 parks, if not all 3 of these parks this year. Remember, you can make a camping reservation 6 months in advance by going to reserveohio.com or by calling 866 Ohio Parks. Well, that wraps it up for today, but feel free to join us next Friday as we will be traveling to showcase Cowan Lake State Park, once again in Southwest Ohio. With that, I hope you all make some time to go enjoy one of Ohio's great state parks as they are still free to you. Thank you.